What are you working on right now?
Well, Bright Path, of course. Jim Thorpe, and it's like the number one thing that I'm working on, and have been working on for 2 years, even during COVID. We had a list of things at the end of our movie that we wanted to get accomplished, and one of those things was to start up a nonprofit. So during COVID, when we couldn't go out and film because we didn't want to endanger anybody with this COVID, we stood up our organization, Bright Path Strong, and we have we also on that list was to restore the records of Jim Thorpe back to the gold medal status. So through the Bright Path Strong organization, we started a campaign to change the records back to their correct records. And over the 2 years, we did it. It happened in July. It wasn't just us that did it. We just started the conduit, and many, many, many people participated in this. I mean, we had our own website, that was collecting signatures to send to the IOC. We had over 75,000 signatures that we had collected. We had started writing letters under my name to the IOC. We were talking one time and they're like, well, how do we do this? I said, well, let's write the president of the IOC. And they're like, well, who's going to do that? And I was like, well, I will, I guess. So we did and started a communication. It was very rocky to start off with. He didn't even want to respond to us. He had a librarian respond to us. And that was really good because, we have some amazing people on our team. I mean, Bob Wheeler and his wife, Flo Ridlin, brilliant researchers. And it was great because this lady sent back the letter to us and it was full of errors. So Bob and Flo got together and they started correcting the letter. We sent it back. And also we reached out to our own US rep, Anita DeFrance at the time, who was on the executive council or executive VP of the IOC. Amazing woman. So, we just, we reached out to tribes. I reached out to tribes. They signed on with us for, I think we had about over 100 something tribes that signed with us. The National Congress of American Indians, the National Indian Gaming Association, all the Native American Rights Fund, other people, organizations in Indian country that would come along with us on this. And nobody didn't want it to happen. Everybody wanted it to happen. World people that even if you ever thought what had happened to Jim Thorpe was not, there was something weird about it or it was incorrect, you helped us because, you helped us in the fact that you saw it too. It should be changed. It was their time to right the wrong. And I'll give the IOC credit. They have a lot of things to go through, but I mean, they actually listed after they gave them the replica medals back to the family, they listed Jim as a co-champion. And if you looked at the tally of the scores, he was no co-champion. I mean, he was like 800 points ahead of the guy next to him and three times that on another in the decathlon or I think it was a decathlon or the pentathlon. I mean, no way was he a co-champion. And we had this wonderful man that's a documentary filmmaker in Sweden, Bo Landon, who came on board with us. And he actually helped us get to some of the families who would be affected by this, movement of their placements. And he talked to I think all of them, all the ones he talked to, except one, agreed their great grandfather never even wanted to be placed like that because he didn't earn it. So it was, again, if somebody had just said, let's just tell the truth, we could have cleared this up years ago. But instead, we had to wait. And what's so interesting, and I've just found this out recently, that the MGM Studios, when they did the Burt Lancaster Thorpe movie in 1951, they had actually reached out to the IOC and wanted to pay them to make this right, give them the medals back, and they were willing to pay that so they'd have a good ending to their story, to their film. I mean, how crazy is all of this? And I'm just like, let's just get this done. So we did, and we actually asked that it could be July 15th, which was the 110th anniversary of Jim's first winnings, back then. So that's when the IOC actually did put it together, and they did stand on the right side with us, and we are very appreciative of that as of the world, because they now have put the truth out there. And, you know, that's just, you know, it speaks a lot to President Bach. I think he's tried to do the right thing. He's done a lot of work in the area of the Olympics, Special Olympics, and Refugee Olympics, and other things that he's been working on. So I give him that and appreciate that he did do this. I'm just saying the organization could have done this a long time ago, and there's other ill feelings. I hope that they, you know, other problem areas like this, I hope they will just work on it and get it done. And that's why we should be doing things in everywhere. You know, like, again, you can't unsee what happened. You know, you just can't unsee athletics. It's all about the sport. You know, it's all about the sport, how you play it and how you do it. It's nothing you can hide, really. So